Okay, so the last example of this chapter, we're going to do a circuit analysis using the mesh current method, and we're going to use the phasor voltages and phasor currents and impedances. Okay, so the circuit is given to us, V1 and V2 and V3 has been asked. So V1 is the voltage across the 1 ohm plus the J2 ohm, V2 is defined as the voltage across these two elements, and V3 is across these two elements. Okay, now since I'm going to do mesh current, first of all, there's no reason to do mesh current. I'm doing it just because the question is asking me. You could have used node voltage or any other method that you like, right? For example, you could have done, node voltage definitely would have worked. So this is mesh 1, this is mesh 2. Let's go ahead and write it. So I know that 150 with an angle of 0. By the way, when you have an angle of 0, it means that, well, it's a real number. So you don't really have to write 150 with an angle of 0. You could just write 150. It's a real number, right? Minus 1 plus J2 times I1 minus 12 minus J16 times I1 minus I2 is equal to 0. And then for the second mesh, I'm going to write minus 12 minus J16 times I2 minus I1 minus 1 plus J3 times I2 minus 39IX is equal to 0. What is IX? It's actually the current in here. So IX is actually equal to I1 minus I2. I have my three equations and three unknowns. Doing the math, I'm going to get I1 is equal to negative 26 minus J52. I2 is equal to negative 24 minus J58. And I3 is equal to, IX is equal to negative 2 plus J6, all in amperes. Okay, now that I have these, I know that V1 is equal to 1 plus J2 times I1. So it's going to be 78 minus J104 volts. V2, and these are all phasors, by the way. V2 is equal to 12 minus J16 times IX. So it's going to be equal to 72 plus J104 volts. And V3 is going to be 1 plus J3 times I2. So it's going to be equal to 150 minus J130 volts. Okay, so that's pretty much it. So I use my mesh current method to write these equations. The only difference, you can see it's as simple as all the questions in chapter 4. The only difference here is I'm dealing with complex numbers that have both imaginary and real parts. I hope everything was clear for you, and see you next week.